What's up? You know it's a Wednesday. You know it's a Wednesday, and we are lit and we're keeping everything scientific actually for you on this Wednesday, because that's how we like to deal with things on a Wednesday. So I'm a scientist today. Scientist Forbes signing in.
Einstein.
You know
the
what
black
I'm saying? For the day,
Yes,
you can as well call me Professor Manzi, because that's what we're going to be doing today. And we cannot focus, or rather forget, about your entertainment, because we know you came from school and you are about, all that entertainment. We're mixing everything, technology, science, and music on today's show. So you better make sure you do not get that down.
All of it together. Qaqamba Filtane. Of course, don't forget today's hashtag is still Ekse. My vote is Qaqamba Filtane. And of course, Namhlanje, we do have a lot lined up, so you do want to stay tuned. We're going to be here with you just up until the hour of 5 o'clock. What's on the lineup?
Of course, lots of things on the lineup. We have an amazing dish for you. Hadal, your ma, your pa, your opa, your oma, your adopted cousins, your adopted neighbors. Everyone, tell them we are on your screens and we are ready for you. We have an amazing lineup for you guys. We have the guys here from iThemba Labs. Dr. Lindsay Donaldson is here to tell us more about the nuclear structure of physics, and also Sazi was here to tell us more about chemical technology. So I'm going to be learning too.
And now on the other side, man, entertainment is always one of the biggest things that we do on the show. And today we have Aroplain, who has the whole entire squad with us here in studio. So I'm talking about a new song that's circulating the scenes of Cape Town entertainment industry. So you better make sure you don't get touched at that.
And of course, we do have from the Academic of Digital Arts, Friends of
Design.
Friends of Design. So if you are creative and you feel like you need to be part of this chat, you want to stay tuned, because they're going to give us information about how to go about that.
Of course.
Right now, these hands on the trending news. Azish.
Also, once gonna check this out.
And welcome back to it. Of course, we do have your trending news, the hottest that has been happening in and around in your news in Cape Town. First up, a Durban man climbed on top of a train yesterday morning and was electrocuted. Shocking, right? He was transported to the hospital with critical but stable conditions and is lucky to be alive. The man is believed to be in his 30s but has not yet been identified. Authorities are assuming he was trespassing into a restricted part of the train and he climbed the maintenance ladder. A graphic video of the incident is all over social media for those who want to see, but it is a bit disturbing, so just caution on that part. South African Twitter users got riled up about a tweet from British personality Katie Hopkins once again in the news. The tweet was reported so many times and caused such an issue that Twitter conducted an investigation into the situation. This is not the first time Katie Hopkins has made comments about Caster Semenya's participation in women's athletics, but South Africans were left furious regarding her latest tweet. Up next, the police officer in position to become the next head of crime intelligence in Gauteng is being charged with obstructing justice. Major General Omar Esther Korai unlawfully gave instructions to release a murder suspect. In February 2017, police officers found a woman at her home cleaning traces of blood when Major General Korai arrived and allegedly instructed to be released. The woman was later charged with murder of her husband, and the disciplinary hearing regarding Korai is still ongoing, but there are rumors that she has already taken position as the new head of crime intelligence. And finally, a video is going viral after a motorist stops a man from stealing his vehicle. In the video, a car pulls into the parking lot and the passenger gets out and approaches the vehicle besides them. After fiddling with the handle, he manages to get in when the owner of the second car rushes over. The man quickly returned to the original car and fled the scene. And that is all for your trending news. Right about now, though, we're going to go back into the stages of Ekse because we have on the decks Aroplain. So you do want to stay tuned and check that out.
Yeah. Aroplain.
Cheers, sir.
Hey.
How you go? Cheers, sir. Hi, go.
Yeah, with my own boy, Sdumo Viwe, what up?
This is GOS, this GOS, this GOS.
DJ Ruben, what up?
Chesa. Hypo.
Yeah.
Yeti Qaqamba, cover Louis I'm the dance I took out the fashion girl. All I want her to buy to me. She did do shakara skeske.
I'm the dance I
I'm the dancer today. I took her to fashion girl. All I want her to buy to me. She did do shakara skeske. Mama begin you fine one. I know say today we go dance. She the allies say she go naughty. Her body a tattoo na die. I feel like say today na birthday.
Chesa.
I go chop elephant, she give me chop. I no go lie, wetin too sweet say big you. I no go lie, wetin too sweet say big you. I'm the dancer today, I took her to fashion day. All I want her to buy to me. She dey do shakara skeske.
Chesa. Whoa. Chesa.
I'm the dancer today, I took her to fashion day. All I want her to buy to me. She dey do shakara skeske.
Chesa. Washa. Chesa.
The big German.
Chesa. Chesa.
As I found Qaqamba debate, alala sogonezi wangu. Siza to sinina, kuteno ndezanjani. Digi wangu, kuteno wangu. Siza to sinina, kuteno ndezanjani.
Chesa. Chesa.
I'm in the Saturday. I took out the fashion girl. All I want her to buy to me.
She did do shakara skeske. Chesa. Ha. 1, 2.
I'm in the Saturday. I took out the fashion girl. All I want her to buy to me. But she did do shakara skeske.
Chesa. Chesa. Do shakara skeske. Sure. Shout out to Aroplain. Ah.
Yeah, shout out to
Chesa.
everybody, CTV. You understand?
Chesa.
I go by the name Aroplain with my homeboy Sdumo Viwe.
What's up? Chesa.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Thanks everybody. Yeah.
Kaboom! Bang! Bang! Yes, I.
Hey man, welcome back. You're still watching Ekse, taking all the way till 5 p.m. Just before the break, Aroplain actually performed for us and gave us an amazing performance. And right about now, we're going to get to know him a little bit better. He's talking about his Afro Pop genre and also his hot single he also just dropped. So we're going to get into that right about now. Guys, what's up? How y'all doing?
Yo, what's up?
The first thing that I want to know, Aroplain. Why the name Aroplain? Because people have Lil Uzi, Lil this, Lil that. So how did the name actually come about?
Yeah, actually, it came like I was playing soccer before.
Okay.
You understand? I got high speed energy.
Okay.
So people take it as a fun. Like, man, why you fly like aeroplane? For me, then I think of something creative.
Yes.
And my name, if you check my name is Abraham Rijo Zurumba. So
Okay.
I took aero out of it.
Okay.
Then I was studying aviation. So aeroplane, everything that flies.
Okay.
Put it
Oh my
together.
word.
All right.
Yeah,
It's not just
understand,
as simple as
It's
it
not
seems,
just
right?
a simple
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the
It's
surface.
not a secret.
So I quickly want to speak about the song briefly because I mean that's one of the hottest songs that I've heard
Yeah.
in a very long time, especially in the Cape Town scenes. There is DJ Ngamla, there's Serena Jam, I heard. There's Terenzo, there's obviously you two guys. Who
Yes.
else is on the song?
It's DJ Ruben Terranzo.
Speak in the mic.
It's DJ Ngamla, Ruben Terranzo, and myself, and Aroplain.
Aeroplane, yeah.
So, with that being said, obviously, you know, it's Cape Town, the
Yes.
entertainment industry is booming, especially now. I just want to know, how did the song come about? Did you guys like decide, yo, look, this is who and who I want in
Yeah.
the song? How did the song come about?
Okay, actually, you see, Sdumo, you see right here is Cape Town Gum Prince.
Okay.
So I thought of I've been dropping some singles, like I wanted to do something different. Let me come with my Nigeria kind of
Yes.
beat,
Yes.
and he's good, you know what I'm saying? Let's just rock something. So we were actually discussing this, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I came up with something like Shakraskeske, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That it was.
Ruben and the other friend, like they know they have somebody who can produce
Yeah.
this. So that's how we came together. You understand? He wrote his own verse. I'm on the hook.
Hey.
You know?
And then it became magic.
Yeah, it became magic. you
Holla
know?
back. Otherwise, also, I would just want to know, because you just mentioned that you have elements of Niger in your music.
Yes.
So I just want to know what makes you guys think you are different from the other sort of upcoming artists that are sort of trying to make the similar sound.
For me, I think I work very hard. I know
Yeah.
my level. You know my level. Even in Nigeria, I can tell you, I'm better than most of the big names.
Hey. Self-calm,
Hey.
self-calm.
You can
You
name
know,
drop. You can
yeah.
name drop. We don't mind.
I grew up in a hood whereby I know those words.
Yeah.
That's, when I speak, it's more originality than most of the pidgin you hear.
Yeah.
So I know I can do something with it on a gun beat or anything.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You're not just an Afro pop artist, but you're an entrepreneur as well.
Yes.
Tell us about the entrepreneurship. I hope it's not drugs and things.
No.
That's a good one,
It's
Paul.
true because I'm a businessman. you know.
Exactly.
I handle my business.
Yeah.
I own my label.
Yes, yes.
So I think in terms of the business, I know here is a musical. We
Yeah.
can discuss about more. My business is something about sales and things. So
Yes.
that makes me.
Of course.
Yeah, that makes me a businessman.
Yes.
I have to let people know about it. you know.
Hey. So, bro, I want to talk to you. You've been on the hip hop scene. I mean, you've been in the Cape Town scenes when it comes to music, and right now you came up with this banger. What people should expect from this song? I mean, where do you want the song to be played? What is the future plan?
Yeah, I mean the song for right now, like it's big, so there's nothing we can do about it because I like the song. It's totally different because like it goes like a mixture of Niger and South African. So all I can ask for from people is that people they must just show love because that's what we need. And especially right now we're shooting for a music video for the song. You know.
okay.
The song is going to be
Okay.
big and the music video we're gonna see it on Channel O, MTV Base, and many
Big
more.
plan.
So,
All right.
yeah,
Okay, so
so-
one more question. What do you guys feel is the most important thing when, for example, like yourself, you're doing music and you're in business at the same time? Like, people need to know the difference, obviously. So what do you feel is the most important sort of connection between those two?
Yeah,
think
for
we-
me, I handle those things. I got used to it because this is my career.
Yes.
You know, business is something that can support my career. Where I hustle, the income come, I finance my career. So musically, that is who I am. So everything goes along.
Okay.
Real quick, in terms of your label that you have, GLA Entertainment, tell us about the type of artists that you recruit for your label, because I know sometimes label have this thing where we want to give a certain sound to the people, and this is the type of artist we attract. Tell us about the label and the sound you are trying to put out there with the artists you actually get in there as well.
There is one thing I can tell you, like I'm international. So I'm not just playing for Nigeria.
Of course.
So the label plays this style of international, mixing different kind of instruments. It is gum, it is
Yes.
hip hop.
Yes.
But there is one particular trap.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we can say this one. We can still do it
Of
in
course.
our own way. But yeah, GOA is known as a place whereby, and a place whereby you come, we do different sounds
Yes.
and with our own styles. You
Of
can
course.
always hear it anytime from today. anytime you hear aeroplane, you know this guy.
Of course.
I think is from GOA. If you-
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you
So
sign in
just-
GOA, you know you have the influence.
Of course,
too.
man.
Yeah.
Just briefly before we let you guys go, where can we find the song
Yeah.
on the socials, and where can
Of
we
course.
find you? Maybe Instagram.
I'm gonna listen to that in the
Facebook.
shower.
I want to go hear it after this.
It's all over internet. Just push Shakaraske by aeroplane
Okay.
on Google. It's all over for free downloads.
And where do they
then
find
on
you on social media?
Aroplain, Aroplain.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
on Twitter, Facebook, and everything. Sdumo Viwe, yeah.
Sdumo Viwe on Insta, Sdumo Viwe on Twitter, Facebook page, it's Sdumo Viwe. So everything it's Sdumo Viwe, nothing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
guys.
so much for joining us.
It was a tight song. Anyway, we still tune in on Ekse Live on Cape Town TV. Right now, we're going to iThemba Lab to check out some science extravaganzas.
Hala.
Ekse team visited iThemba Lab's major facility located in Fori near Blue Downs. iThemba Labs is Africa's leading laboratory for research, training, and expertise in accelerator-based science and technology, and it's a national research facility administered by the National Research Foundation of South Africa. Chatted with Rudzani Nemududi, the deputy director, who told us in great detail what the internationally competitive research facility does.
iThemba Labs prides itself as an internationally competitive research facility conducting world-class scientific research using latest technology in accelerators to push the frontiers of science to the cutting edge. All our research and operations at iThemba Labs are conducted either in collaboration with or in competition against our international counterparts such as RIKEN of Japan, Lignaro of Italy, the JINR in Russia, the BNL in the USA, and all other major international facilities scattered all over the world. The basic platforms for all of our research operations are accelerator machines. We currently have a total of 7 of them, covering a wide range of energy, ranging from 3 MeV all the way up to 200 MeV. We use accelerated ion beams to do a wide range of research in a wide range of scientific fields, including material science, nanosciences, subatomic physics, and radiation physics, as well as environmental science. But most importantly, we use these accelerated beams to produce radioisotopes, which we supply to local hospitals. Some of them we export internationally. Within the family of the NRF, we pride ourselves as the driver of the transformation agenda, which we implement very efficiently in collaboration with higher education institutions by training postgraduate research students using our accelerator research facilities.
We also chatted to Retief Nebeling, a seniorist in understanding the structure of matter.
Hi, my name is Retief, and I'm standing here at a very special and very interesting facility that we have here at iThemba Labs. It's one of only 2 in the world. The other facility that can do similar work is in Osaka in Japan. And what it is you can basically think of it as consisting of 2 big microscopes to help you understand the structure of matter. The one microscope that we have over here consists of detectors that can look at gamma rays coming off a reaction that happens at the center of the chamber over there. And the other microscope that we have consists of a couple of big magnets. You can see the big structure, the blue structure behind me, and its associated detectors. And we use this to look at a very small scale at the structure of matter on the femtometer scale. And it helps us to understand how matter on that very small scale behaves under different forces exerted from outside. And that helps us to understand, for example, how protons and neutrons move in phase or out of phase. It's also possible to create nuclei that exist in the center of stars for a very brief period of time. We can make that here in the laboratory, and then we can see what is the structure of this, and it can help us to understand how stars work. It can help us to understand how stars end their life cycle when they go in a supernova. Yes, that's what we do.
The senior scientists also showed us an accelerator that allows them to access matter that is only found in the center of stars or when they go supernova.
I'm standing here in front of the start of a very exciting project here at iThemba Labs. We recently got funding to develop and build a new facility. We got the funding from the DST and the NRF, and with this facility which is the same facility as currently being built up all over the world, we will be able to do world-class research. It will allow us to access matter that you can only find in the center of stars or when a star goes supernova. We can use it to understand the structure of this matter, and that will eventually help us to understand how all the matter ended up on planet Earth. It will help us to understand how stars work and how stars undergo supernova explosions.
Hey man, yes, that it is. Remember the hashtag we're using today is hashtag Ekse. My vote is, and that is to vote for your favorite presenter that you would like to keep here but at the Ekse headquarters with all of our beautiful faces as well. I'm just going to read one of the tweets that came in. Keanu Snyders actually says, hashtag Ekse, my vote is Amy Mayor. So keep all of the votes coming to keep that favorite one. I wish people could vote for me. I need votes as well. I need votes as well. Listen, like we said today, we're talking everything science and technology. And right about now from the iThemba Labs, we have Dr. Lindsay Donaldson, who's actually going to tell us more about nuclear structure physics. And I have no idea what that is. And if you have no idea what that is as well, stick around. We're going to have a look at what it is as well. Dr. Lindsay Donaldson, welcome. How are you?
Very well.
Awesome. I'm good. I'm just very curious as to what nuclear structure physics is actually about and why you actually chose that as a career path.
Okay, so nuclear structure physics, when we talk about that, we talk about looking at the nucleus itself and looking at how it's shaped, what it does, how it behaves.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I got into it actually because of a professor that I really enjoyed how he approached the subject. And I didn't intend to do a PhD at all, actually.
It just happened.
He ended up convincing me to do it, and I absolutely love it. You know, you meet so many different people.
You guys, you specialize in giant resonances. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. Resonances. I just want to know. First of all, what's that word? What is that? Secondly, I also want us to just break it down for us. For somebody that's like me that can't even spell the word.
Okay, so when we talk about giant resonances, if you think about a nucleus, it has protons and neutrons in it. Okay, and a giant resonance is essentially how the protons and neutrons move against each other, with each other, and basically whether they move together or opposite depends on what vibration you're talking about. So it causes a whole vibration of the nucleus, and we see that when we do an experiment. The way it comes out is you'll get a graph, and the graph just has a bump in it, and how that bump is structured, whether it's 2 bumps or 1 bump, it tells you whether or not your nucleus is like a circle, or whether you've got something like a Smartie or something like a rugby ball.
I didn't even know that there's like different shapes.
Yeah,
Like, this is actually very interesting. So you've told us exactly what is basically happening in that study.
Yes.
What does a normal day at work look like?
So a normal day at work, it depends on whether or not we're running experiments. If we're not running experiments, each of us dedicates time to analyzing the data that came from experiments to try and get out publications. Otherwise, it is, when we run experiments, it's crazy, but it's so much fun. We have to check the equipment, we have to make sure it's running okay, we have to make sure it's set up in a way that will achieve what we're trying to achieve, and depending on people coming to us, we get people from Germany, Japan, the USA, England, we get all sorts of people coming here, and of course everyone locally are most important. So it's the experiments are wonderful.
Cool. And you're always doing, research, and I'm sure it's exciting for you as well, because I watch shows such as Big Bang Theory, and I'm laughing, but I'm always thinking about that as well. But what is it that during your research that excited you, and you actually want people to know that, hey, this is actually some of the things that we found that the public generally don't know?
So, I mean, there's a whole lot of things that you don't know. You don't even realize at the time that they have consequences, that they actually factor into other fields, other, types of studies. You look at what we're studying, and you can see that you can learn about stars, how stars form, how they work. And that, even that, factors into, in terms of calculations, stuff like, you know, nuclear power at the end of the day. Not that we do that, but it does end up down the line having consequences. So it's just a ripple effect.
Okay. So with all this being said, I'm trying to imagine, like any workplace has their own, you know, advantages and disadvantages. What's in your line of work? What is the biggest challenge that you guys have?
The biggest challenge that we have, I suppose if we look at it very seriously, it would be funding. Just in terms of wanting to study what we want to study. There's obviously limitations because there's so many different scientific fields and everybody needs to share. So I think everybody would probably say
So also we just want to know, like, as much as Sazi mentioned that there's advantages and disadvantages, and you mentioned the challenges, of course, being funding, but what is the most sort of rewarding or the biggest highlight that you get from your job?
The students.
Okay.
Yeah. To have the students come through and you start with a student that knows next to nothing about the field, they've got the basics, and then they come through, they do a master's or they do a PhD, and you see them blossom into these researchers that they can hold their own, they can go and do their own things, you can send them happily away to other laboratories and be confident. It's amazing to watch them grow. It's really.
Of course. And for the viewers at home or the kids at home who are thinking, hey, but I actually want to become a scientist in whichever specific field. Some of them thinking, oh my word, I can't even do my last year finish. What is some of the advice that you would like to give to them? Kind of to give them that extra oomph to say, go ahead and just finish it.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to. Because at the end of the day, you know, the more you learn, the only thing I've realized from getting a PhD is how much I don't know.
Oh my word.
At the end of the day. So the more you learn, the more you realize there is to learn.
Of course.
So don't give up on it. There's always somebody who doesn't know something, and you will get there.
And we need people to study the nuclear
Yes,
structure.
we do. We want to know how to make bombs, you won't lie.
The wisest man I know said, a man that knows something knows that he knows nothing.
Yes, fine.
Right now, let's check more of, you know, what iThemba Lab does. Another side of this.
We chatted to Sdumo Viwe, who makes medicine that is sent to local hospitals, so exported internationally.
Igama lam nguSizwe Viwe. Ndingomnye wabasebenzi balapha e-radio isotope production department. Apha senza amachiza athi athunyelwe ezibhedlele for ukuyonyanga izigulo ezifana ne-cancer, izigulo zemiqala kunye nezigulo ezifana ne-brain tumor. iThemba Labs phantsi ko-NRF uyenye ye-research facilities ezi-worldwide recognized. Through science, apha siyakwazi ukwenza i-radio isotopes ezithi zikwazi ukuthunyelwa ezibhedlele for ukwenza unyanga izigulo for a medical application. Nanjengoba sithetha ngoku, zikhona izicwangciso ezikhoyo ezijole ekubeni kuproduce amayeza amatsha for izigulo ezisezayo, obviously ezi zigulo zi-cancer related. Mna ke ebabe senditshilo ngaphambili, yenye ye-labs endiyisebenzisayo le, nalapho kuthi kwenziwe khona enye isotope ebizwa ngoba yi-sodium 22. Siyayiproducer, then ugqiba kwethu iproducer iye kwi-department ekuthiwa i-quality control, nalapho ithi itestwe khona uba ikulungele na uba ingathi iye ke ngoku kwi-research department, nalapho kuzawusetyenziswa khona ukujonga ezi zigulo bendithetha ngazo ngaphambili.
Solomon showed us iThemba Lab's new accelerator that can penetrate any material to a nano-scale region.
And this is Materials Research Department of iThemba Lab. One of our exciting new accelerators on my right-hand side is a 3 megavolt tanatron accelerator. This accelerator can penetrate any material in the nanoscale region. It can give you very important information regarding what's going on inside the material, what happens with the atoms. And this information is definitely very important for the nanoscience. Nanoscience has been at the forefront of material science for the last 20 years. And we really feel privileged to be part of this era. This is why the transfer of skills is so important to us. And that's why we give quality training to make sure that we build on the science, the contributions we're making to science currently, and to make sure that we continue to contribute to science in the future.
Hey man, everything iThemba Labs, everything science and technology on today's show as well. Remember our hashtag for today's hashtag Ekse, my vote is. I'm just going to read another two that came through. One coming from King Rebel says hashtag Ekse, my vote is Amy Mayer. Another one coming from Zakiti Kulu says hashtag my vote is the beautiful Q as well. So make sure your votes are coming in to keep your favorite presenters with us at the Ekse headquarters. Man, we're sitting down still with iThemba Labs, and right about now we're sitting down with Wits, who's actually a chemical technologist, and we're going to find out exactly what that is as well. Wits, welcome. How are you doing? I'm awesome, man. I'm awesome and curious. What does a chemical technologist actually do? What's your life like at iThemba Labs?
All right. A chemical technologist is someone who basically who's done science first at a university. And then with that qualification, you get to work in a lab. And that's where you basically have to prepare what we call radioisotopes. Obviously, this is now a field in a science environment. And these radioisotopes basically are used when we cure things like drugs, cancer, and all that.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Didn't know that.
So currently, we know that you're working as a manager at Radioisotopes. How has that experience been for you, and what is the sort of like the day-to-day doings that you actually do?
Look, that was my next step from obviously having to work for so long in in a lab and all that. So it's your next step.
Of course.
Yeah, as a manager. So basically, there again, you get to see all processes are in place. Making sure that nothing goes wrong. This is a highly regulated area, so we need to be strict and make sure that the product at the end of the day is of good quality.
So with that being said, you guys also make medicines for local and international.
That's correct, definitely.
So can people like me, let's say now I'm a president, so I want to buy these medicines directly. I don't want to go to the pharmacy and have to wait. Can I buy directly from you guys?
Unfortunately not. Like I said, these are highly regulated. There's a strict protocol which must be followed. Even the doctor that's going to administer to you, he needs to know how much, all those things. Unfortunately, it's not a matter
so
of...
even billions can't buy that?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so dosages obviously are very important because it is medicine and you don't want people to overdose on that. In terms of the safety of it, do you guys have perhaps testers before you put the product on the market?
That's correct.
Yes.
We've got a unit that's called quality control. That's where all these tests are done, and these are documented. Not only for going out, but also for traceability, which is one of the most important things. Because we hear all over that. Just to make a typical example, when you hear that Ford is recalling cars, so all those things, basically we need to know what batch. When was it done, who made it, and all that. So the traceability is one of the most important things in this field.
And I can hear there's so much process that goes into it. It's not just, we're mixing something today and tomorrow.
Science.
It needs to be tested, it needs to be regulated and all of those things. And I want to actually know who has that final say and saying, look, this medicine is actually fit for the public and we can actually put it on the shelf. Who is that regulator?
The pharmacist, or the regulator is the Medical Research Council. But we also have an on-site pharmacist who makes sure that each and every product that leaves out of the door is certified to be the best quality.
I love that. It's not just take and
go. No.
Making sure the product is lit on the streets. Anyways, I just want to know, but for somebody who grew up in Qaqamba, and you studied at UWC, and and you doing all these things. And if I'm a kid right now, I'm sitting at home, I'm looking at you, I'm like, and looking at my background, it doesn't match up. I'm like, how can I move from where I am to where you are? And I just want to know your experience. How has it been like to, work at iThemba Labs?
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, that's one of the reasons I'm actually here, is to make sure that those kids, they see me, they can relate to me. I'm coming from a rural area with no street lights, and it's still very underdeveloped. But all you need to do basically in life, like in any other field, you just need to work hard. Stay focused, know your goals and your ambitions, and stick to what you know. You definitely, because God is there to guide you basically. He will make sure that whatever you do, He also provides.
Of course.
You heard it.
Okay, so one more question. If, for example, I'm interested in the study that you're doing right now, but I, for example, I'm doing another degree and I just have some extra time on the side and I would like to maybe shadow. How would I go about that if it's possible?
Look, it's never too late. It's never too late. You just need to, like I said, you need to put time aside. If I had time, I can tell you about how I ended up doing science.
Of course.
It does reflect on my CV.
Okay.
You'll see that there's a couple of years that I also wandered off, like any
Yeah.
kids, But what you need to do in the end of the day is to sit down and talk to yourself and tell yourself that, look, I want to be like Sizwe, I want to be like Dr. Lindsay, I want to be like so and so. These are human beings, they're not magicians.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Man, it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys here. I've learned so much of science and all of those things as well. Thank you so much for coming through and spending the time with us as well. We've got a little bit of science news of our own. You can listen to it and then you can tell us what you think as well. Honorable Melekai is standing by with your science news and he has a point of order as well. Honorable, take it away.
Inqaku lethu lokuqala kusukela izolo umhla weshumi elinethoba kule nyanga yomdumba kuqinisekiswe ukuba kuphume isupermoon. Eligama lale nyanga lawavela nomhlohli wezifundo zenkwenkwezi uRichard Noel ngonyaka ka-1979. UNoel wayichaza isupermoon njengenyanga entsha okanye egcweleyo eyenzeka xa isatellite yendalo isondele okanye ikufuphi malunga nomgama ongama-90 ekhulwini emhlabeni. Ngaphandle koluvo lukaNoel akukho nto idibanisa isayensi phakathi kokuzamazama komhlaba kunye nomgama wenyanga ukusuka emhlabeni. Nangona kunjalo, ekulindeni inyanga epheleleyo ngomhla we-19 ngeyoKwindla ngo-2011, umntu owenza uphando oluthe gabalala ngenkcazo yegama lika-supermoon olwavela kuNoel wathi supermoon syndrome. Inqaku lesibini, idyunivesithi ezinze kwiphondo laKwaZulu-Natal kweli loMzantsi Afrika, i-University of KwaZulu-Natal, yenze uvavanyo kwi-Phoenix 1B Mark II Hybrid Sound Rocket eNtshona Koloni kwi-Denel Overberg Test Range. Le projekthi ixhaswe ngemali liSebe lezeNzululwazi nobuchwephesha leli loMzantsi Afrika. Ngokwesebe lezeNzululwazi nobuchwephesha, umahluko phakathi kwe-sounding rocket nezinye iirokethi ezikhoyo zithwalwa iintlawulo zeenqwelo ezinqamlezayo eziye zikhawuleze zikwazi ukubuyela ezantsi emhlabeni. Kuchazwe leli gqiza kuba uMzantsi Afrika unazo iinkqubo ezithi zixhase le misebenzi kumila kunje, nto leyo kuye kunyanzeleke ukuba kufuneke kwenziwe izivumelwano kunye namazwe aphesheya sokuxhasa ososayensi balapha ekhaya. Kuchazwe ukuba ayikho nenye isatellite eyaveliswa kweli loMzantsi Afrika eyakhe yagqitywa ingakhange ithunyelwe kumazwe angaphandle. Eli gqiza lale dyunivesithi lithi lifuna ukuyitshintsha loo meko. Ibhunga lolawulo lomhlaba kunye nesigqeba se-IAAF bacebise ngemithetho enonyanzelisa ababizwa ngoba ngabadlali abanentlukwana zophuhliso lwezesondo kunciphisa amanqanaba abo etestosterone ngaphantsi kwexabiso elimiselweyo. Kodwa usimenya intshatsheli yeli yemitha ezingama-800 kwi-Olimpiki eLondon, eRio nokwayintshatsheli yehlabathi amatyeli amathathu icela umngeni kumthetho kwesoluleko kwimeko eza kuvelelwa kwinkundla yokubambisana ngoMvulo. Umphathiswa wezemidlalo waseMzantsi Afrika uNkosazana Thokozile Xhasa uyichaze le migaqo njengenocalucalulo njengoko eqalise iphulo lokuxhasa abadlali be-hyperandrogenic. inqaku lokugqibela iqela labaphandi baseZimbabwe lifumene i-ozone hole eMzantsi Afrika ejolise kwiphondo laseFreystata ngethuba lentwasahlobo elichaphazela umgangatho weqondo lokutshisa kunye nemvula ngokweziphumo ezipapashwe kwiJournal of Frontiers kwinzululwazi yomhlaba. Umhlohli oyintloko unjingalwazi Desmond Mantasa oyingcali yenzululwazi yezemozulu kwiDyunivesithi yezemfundo uthe nomlingani wakhe unjingalwazi Godfrey University of Free State wenze lo mbonakaliso imangaliso ngexesha esebenzisa phantsi kwe-Afro Mountain Research. Ngoku sizawuthi sithathe ke ikhefu.
Honorable Malachi for those news. Definitely inspired, definitely a science show as well. More votes coming through. Hashtag Ekse my vote is. This one coming from Riaz Skarnik actually says hashtag Ekse my vote is Sia. Another one coming from Sipo says hashtag my vote is Sia. So Q should actually take example of these things, paying people to, I'm just kidding. Another comment actually came through from Simon Tobias, who actually says, hello, Dr. Lindsay. You look beautiful today and so happy. God bless you and everybody at home as well. Another one from Leon Rutherford says, there's our Dr. Lindsay. What a beautiful soul. So yeah, man, if you want to get in touch with us on our Facebook, we are Ekse, on Cape Town TV, and on our Twitter, we are at Ekse_live. Also with breathe, we need to take a break. All of these science things is getting to me now. We'll see on the other side of this.
And welcome back to it. You're still tuned into Ekse with you just for the last couple of moments. And of course, with us here on the Couches, we are sitting with Lars from Friends of Design, and they come from the Academy of Digital Arts. And today they're going to be showing us a young game that they designed. And so we are very interested in that.
Of course.
Lars, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing fine, mate. Thank you for having me.
So what is it that you do in terms of game design? Can you explain that concept first?
Scary enough, I'm actually running a course.
Okay.
I'm teaching people.
Okay.
And yeah, no, we teach, Friends of Design teaches students and specifically young people how to create games, like how to use the tools that are available to actually create games.
Okay.
And what I'll show you are final projects that they had to do for their exams.
So this was an assignment and they're actually games? Yeah. Okay, so can we, like, are they at the point where we can actually use these games and sell them?
Absolutely.
This is impressive.
Okay, let me show you.
So is this one of the games you designed? Or is this still kind of in the process?
This is one of the games that one of our students designed.
Okay.
And it's not a full-on game, but it has everything in there that would make a game. So we would take this further than with a couple more people, put more graphics in and stuff like that.
Okay. So what is this game basically about then?
So what he did is he created something like a small role-playing game.
Okay.
So you can.
So what is that process happening now?
So I have to go around with this guy here and first of all equip him.
Okay.
Because it's a dangerous world he lives in.
I can see steam coming
most
out.
computer games, right? Like
yeah.
Dangerous.
Absolutely dangerous. So now I can equip him, and you can see that everything basically is working. So it's it's an island in
space
the sky.
Somewhere.
Yes.
In space, up in the clouds.
Okay.
So and what he tried to show you is that he can absolutely program something like this. Like some of the graphics are not his own because there's not that much time to do this. But and here are the skeletons already. Yeah? See, that's like already in trouble. And because
you are killing lads here, Baba.
I'm running now, guys. I'm running because what I forgot is to actually. Yeah.
Okay.
I have to equip him. They're coming. They're coming.
Lars, how long does such a game actually take to develop? Couple of days?
For this they have around about 7-8 weeks.
Serious?
Yeah, but they do a lot of projects before that.
Yeah.
So to learn how it's actually put together, the coding and 3D graphics and stuff, and then they basically specialize in the field, like in the movies, in a movie production you have specialists.
Yes. Okay.
And we have that too.
Okay.
So, and what he did, he programmed the interaction and everything. So he focused on programming, and now let's say, like proper games, like the really big ones, like GTA. they have 500 guys
Oh, my
working on
word.
this for 4 or 5 years.
Oh my word.
Wow. I don't think people actually realize the amount of work that goes
course.
into
Yeah.
making
No,
games.
it's tremendous. Yeah.
Literally.
Uh-huh.
So I want to know, is there like some of the games that you guys have already sold, or you know,
We don't sell them because we're a school, but I know a couple of our alumni students have done pretty cool stuff. Like they're not necessarily games that are sold like on Steam, but for instance, they created games for team training, and one of them uses a new controller that reads brainwaves.
Oh.
So it's a mind control game.
See, it took him a second.
you get how proud I am of the guys.
Are those the type of games you guys actually develop? Is that your main focus?
Yes, but we focus on games like we did, but we do other stuff as well.
Okay.
Because you can do so much with this technology.
Of course, man.
We did the Isiko Museum Slave Lodge, a new exhibit there that uses augmented reality. You probably know that most of you know what that is. That's the project that the students did. We always have one project that the entire group does over a year, and we've done some really cool stuff.
Awesome.
These guys are awesome.
Do you guys ever get like offers for like people to sort of buy the games and own them?
Yep.
All the time?
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, but I'm happy when our students get those offers.
Yeah.
After they leave us, because we as a school, of course, we cannot sell games.
Okay.
So, but some of the guys have been quite successful. Yeah.
Okay.
When someone studies at your school, how long does it usually take for them to actually say, hey, look, I'm actually a game developer now, I've got my certificate, or whatever the case may be?
Our courses are 1-year courses.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a higher certificate. And what we do with them is actually 50% theory and 50% actual practice. You need this practice. Like the degree is not that important. What's really important is the portfolio. You need to be able, whether you do web design, concept art, graphic design, or game design. I've been in the business for 25 years. Nobody ever asked me for a degree.
So you don't just play games, you know all of these things.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the cool thing.
That was going to be my second question. Following question is that, because I learned that also the lectures that are lecturing the students are also well-connected people all doing some stuff.
Exactly, yeah. We work with a lot of people in the industry, like especially in Cape Town, like Sea Monster, Formula D, and all the other guys.
Of course.
Free Lives, I don't know if you had the guys in at one point. And it's really cool. It's lovely to be part of that community that really is creative and like pushes. It's great. Yeah.
How can one become part and actually study gaming at your school?
You need a matric.
Okay.
And you need to have a passion for this.
Okay.
Whether you're talented or not, I mean, if you come in as very, very talented, everything comes easy to you. But hey, it's a job. There are parts about my job that I don't like.
Okay.
That's true.
Fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Final question. So what this qualification that you can attain from this, just real quick, what other options could someone have possibly in the working world?
I have students that work for architects. I have students that work in marketing because they all use this technology. Just yesterday, one of the guys from last year got a job at a company that does develop games, but with educational purpose.
Word. Awesome, man.
So
Lars, thanks so much for coming through and showing us what it is that you guys do.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure,
It's been a
man.
pleasure.
We're gonna check out a cool music video now. Ifani. Check it out.
Vanilla, chocolate. Firstly, I'm very disappointed in these two because they didn't actually know that Ifani had a song called Vanilla Chocolate.
I thought you were referring to my body type.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Ekse. Catch the same time tomorrow, 4 to 5. Of course, with a different badge, but don't forget today's hashtag Ekse. My vote is Cue the Black Rose, Qaqamba Filtane, Qaqamba.
Go for it, girl. Of course, man. If you have missed today's episode, tomorrow 7 to 8 a.m. you can catch the repeat of Vanilla Chocolate.
And then massive shout out to all the guests that came through today. It was everything about science and technology. We say shout out to you for teaching all the kids and the rest of South Africa and beyond. Anyways, like I said, my name is Sazi Manzi, everybody's boyfriend.
Hi. We love you guys. Tune in tomorrow, Monday to Friday, 4 till 5. The name is Ekse, the biggest, the baddest, and more hectic than any other show you've seen. We out of here. I want to address this whole people.
I want to go to science school because I want to...